This is shuttle launch control at T-minus 3 hours and holding. Everything continues to go well in our countdown this morning as the Kennedy launch team proceeds with plans to launch the Space Shuttle Columbia at 12:11 p.m. today. Seated for breakfast, 7 members to fly aboard the shuttle this morning. Have one of our payload specialists, Eugene Tren, seated next to our mission specialist, Carl Mead. Another mission specialist, Elaine Ger. And our mission commander this time is Richard Richards. Next to him is our mission specialist, Bonnie Dunbar. And following up are the 2 remaining crew members. We have payload specialist Larry DeLucas, and there on the end is our pilot, Ken Bowersox. He'll be flying for the first time this morning. Each astronaut scheduled to fly today has been thoroughly trained in their roles for the USML mission. Our commander on this mission will be Dick Richards. This will be his 3rd flight. Larry DeLucas, one of our payload specialists, preparing for his 1st flight in space. One of the 2 women on board this morning, or who will soon be boarding the shuttle this morning, is our mission specialist, Bonnie Dunbar. She'll be making her 3rd trip into space today. In fact, on this mission, she'll be breaking the record for hours that a woman has flown on the space shuttle. Our first Vietnamese-born astronaut, Eugene Tren, will be flying today for the first time. And we get a thumbs up from our pilot, our first-time flyer today, Ken Bowersox. Mission specialist Carl Mead has flown before. This, in fact, will be his 2nd trip into space. And the last of our 7 astronauts, our 2nd woman to fly aboard the shuttle today, is our mission specialist, Ellen Baker. She will be making her 2nd trip into space. This is shuttle launch control at T-minus 2 hours, 56 minutes and counting. Our 7 crew members are making their way down the 3rd floor hall of the operations and checkout building and entering the elevator, which will take them down to their Astro van, which will then carry them out to pad 39A. All events in today's launch countdown continue to proceed on time. Standing by now for the crew walkout from their crew quarters at the ONC building. And our crew are departing the operations checkout building at this time. Commander Dick Richards leads the 7 members of the crew, followed by his pilot, Ken Bowersox, mission specialist Ellen Baker, Bonnie Dunbar, and Carl Mead, and payload specialist Eugene Tren and Larry DeLucas. Commander Richard Richards and his pilot, Ken Bowersox, will be the first to enter the orbiter. The STS-51 Commander Richard Richards is a captain in the U.S. Navy, and he has just now climbed aboard the shuttle. Our 7-member crew today includes 2 women, 2 members of the Navy, an Air Force captain, a medical doctor, an optometrist, a physicist, and a biomedical engineer. The astronauts have been divided into 2 teams to accommodate the round-the-clock operations of the USML Spacelab. They have been training for this mission for almost 2 years and have spent the last several months in intensive studies of the specifics on how to operate the more than 30 experiments that will fly aboard the shuttle during the next 13 days.
Let's go for OAA retract. SRO, NTD.
And we have a go for the orbiter X arm to be retracted from away from the Shuttle Columbia. This access arm can be returned to position and allow the crew to exit the orbiter in just a few seconds if need be.
NTD SRO on 212. Go ahead. Okay, range is go. You have final range clear to launch.
T-minus 6 minutes and Kim.
Go ahead. Perform APU pre-start. APU pre-start is in work.
A final test of the flight control surfaces is now being conducted on the orbiter Columbia. And the 3 main engines have been gimbaled for a final test for launch. The orbiter test conductor has requested that pilot Bioprocessing clear the caution and warning memory system, and that is currently in work. Nothing out of the ordinary. All is ready to fly today.
No unexpected errors. Copy.
The liquid hydrogen replenishment is now being terminated.
And Columbia, OTC. Close and lock your visors. Initiate oxygen flow.
And the flight crew has been instructed to close their sun visors.
Okay, visor is O2, and we'll see you all in a couple of weeks.
Copy that, Ken. Okay, let's go for ET LH2 pressurization. Okay, let's go for auto sequence.
And we have a go for auto sequence start. Columbia's 4 onboard computers have primary control of all the vehicle's critical functions.
20.
T-minus 20 seconds.
15.
T-minus 15. 12, 10, 9, 8. We have a go for main engine start. 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. And liftoff of the Space Shuttle Columbia and the first extended duration mission, a stepping stone to Space Station Freedom.
Roll program, Houston.
Roger, roll, Columbia.
Houston now controlling. Columbia is rolled to the proper upside-down position, putting the crew with heads down to see the horizon and putting Columbia on course for its planned orbit. Three engines on board Columbia now throttling back to 2/3 throttle as Columbia prepares to pass through the area of maximum air pressure. Columbia is 2 miles east of the launch pad, an altitude of 4.8 miles, and in a steep climb.
Columbia, Houston, go at throttle up.
Go at throttle up.
Columbia, Houston, UHF only comm check. How do you read?
Loud and clear, Sid.
And we have you loud and clear.
Flight controllers now standing by for burnout and jettison.
And a second. UHF only comm check. How do you read?
Loud and clear.
The booster officer confirms a good separation and jettison of the solid rocket boosters. Altitude now 29 miles. Downrange Kennedy Space Center, 35 miles. Columbia speed 3,070 miles an hour.
Houston, Columbia, performance nominal.
Nominal performance.
Columbia, Houston, negative return.
Negative return.
Columbia has now gained too much altitude and is traveling too fast to return to the Kennedy Space Center in the event of an engine failure. Columbia's speed now 6,818 miles an hour. Columbia will more than double its current speed in the next 3 minutes to reach orbital velocity.
Droop Banjul 109, Columbia.
Droop Banjul 109.
Press to MECO, Columbia.
Press to MECO.
Columbia, Houston, we see a nominal MECO. OHMS 1 is not required. You have a go for the ET photo DTO.